Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, a recovering Democrat Sadiq. And this is the live edition of the Demetra K Show. So, yes, we are live. We were not live earlier. I also like to say the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even because we are great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like to also say thank you, Donovan, and a big giant thank you and welcome to YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you are family, and sometimes we share the link so that you can come up here and ask a question, voice your opinion, ask a couple of things of you. However, if your profile looks like that, and I've never seen you on here before, please show me this so that I can verify that it's somebody who is really interested in being sensible, if you will. I also ask that if you have repeated the same thing repeatedly, please do not come up here and do that unless what we are talking about calls for that. Also, I'm asking everybody to be respectful in the comment section and on the panel, as we do not want to get in trouble for saying things and behaving in ways that we should not be doing, at least on here. So today we're going to talk about actress Jennifer Lewis issuing a warning to people in regards to former President Donald Trump. I thought it was it's something to see. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Before I give it to Donovan, let's see who is on here. Alex Jackson, how you doing? Say, oh yes, Jennifer Lewis. She is part of the Vote Blue No Matter Who crowd. I think that's safe to say. Hey Beverly, how you doing? And Brother Don, how are you? I hope you are doing well. Mallow Factor, what's going on with you? Sister Shirley, what's going on? And Brother Reggie, hope you are doing well in Japan. So Donovan, what say you?
I was just getting some notes. I'm still getting incoming from my grandfather's stuff. His funeral is going to be next Tuesday. 100 years old. The man made it. Century, never like that. But let's stick to the topic on hand. We will be dealing with another real life clown that doesn't know what she's talking about and doesn't give a damn about the generations behind her nor what happens. So you guys see a scrolling banner at the very bottom of us right there. If you want to give 100% of your donation to the content creator, that's one way to do it. Also, do not forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. It's on Google Play and the Apple Store. It's one way you can keep informed of what's going on around the world with Black people. So please, please, please go ahead and do that. Thank you guys for the condolences. Like I said, my grandfather lived an incredible life, World War II veteran, all of that good stuff. 12 children, 65. I don't know how many. I think there's about 65 grandkids or something like that. My brother and I being the first two. So it's going to be amazing to see everybody that goes down there. So Demetra, let's get into this because again, this is what they want you to follow. And unfortunately, a lot of people are going to listen to this clown and vote against their interests, basically.
Yes, indeed. Hello, Easy. How you doing? And Jay Fitness Health. I hope you are doing well. And Kelly and Maxwell and Anita. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So as I said earlier, Jennifer Lewis, who is an accomplished actor or actress, I should say, very accomplished actress. One of my favorite movies that I have seen her in is Jackie's Back. I love that movie because it's a comedy and it's just, it's stupid. And I love stupid comedies that are just over the top. And that is one of them. Of course, as it's been said by Alex, she is a big time Democrat. She has made that no secret. Of course, we know her to have penned a couple of songs. One of them was that of Ketanji Brown Jackson. She got together with some choir. Yeah, when Ketanji Brown Jackson got nominated to the Supreme Court, she was, doing a whole lot. And, if you know anything about Jennifer Lewis, she is a very good singer, So
she did a lot of background singing in the 70s in various bands. Her and Katie Segal. You guys know who Katie Segal is? Married with Children, Peg.
Yeah. I forgot I was gonna say something. She is known as the Black Mother of Hollywood. That is the moniker that she has. I think she even penned a book called Jennifer Lewis, Black Mother of Hollywood. calling herself that because she has played the mother role, the matriarch, in a lot of movies. And I think she was on Blackish as somebody's mama on there or whatever. I didn't watch the show.
Wasn't she the mother? And what's love got to do with it?
Yes, she was the mother of What's Love Got to Do with It.
Dead Presidents. As well.
So yeah, she's been around a very long time, but nevertheless, she does not like Trump, and she's not very happy with anybody, especially Black people, I guess, who do not want to vote for anybody but the Democrats. But I will say this: there's a lot of celebrities, not that we listen to them, but there's a lot of them that are they just don't understand why Black people want to vote for Trump. And I'm not, let me say this at the top, because I know somebody gonna get in here and act a donkey. I'm not saying that I want to vote for Trump. I'm just telling y'all what's in these streets, okay? They're basically upset that Black people do not want to vote for the Democrats. So she is one of them. Let's see who else is on here before I play it. I want to give everybody else enough time to come on here. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Lady Diana, what's going on with you? And Mr. X, I hope all is well. And let's see here. Blackish, that was she was on. And Beauty with Brains, how you doing? Says she needs to stay in her lane and act anyway. I love your hair, sis. Well, thank you. That's what my daughter calls birthday hair. I just twisted it up until I can, get to where I need to go. My birthday is on Saturday, so we're gonna see how that turns out. All right, so here we go. We're gonna play this video. Jamarcus, how you doing?
He takes the oath. He will have generals walk down the steps of the Capitol. He will take a hammer and break the glass where the Constitution is, and he will tear it up in our faces. And say, now, I'm the king of the world. You will bow down, just. He will punish everybody that didn't vote for him. Let me tell y'all how I know this shit. I know it because I know what mental illness looks like. That mania is unstoppable. See, this motherfucker is Hitler.
So again, that was Mrs. Lewis, who issued a very staunch warning as to what would happen if he gets into the White House again, saying he is going to take a hammer to the Constitution, dismantle it. And he has made some, statements regarding revising the Constitution, even though that's not even in his power to do. Also said that he is going to make people bow down to him, and he wants to be the king, and all that other stuff. And she didn't liken him to that of Adolf Hitler. So Donovan.
Oh boy, fear mongering. The Democrats are great at fear mongering. Don't they keep Negroes in fear? That's why they invented the Ku Klux Klan. Didn't the Democratic Party invent the Ku Klux Klan to scare Negroes and other people to either not vote or not do what they want them to do? Number one, I get sick and tired of people who have never been in the military. They saw a few military movies that were kind of, out there a little bit, and they think they know how the military is. The military is sworn to defend the Constitution. There will not be generals walking down and tearing up the Constitution, helping him tear up the Constitution. That will not happen. You can forget that. That will not happen. Now, do you have and people confuse police departments, which is a paramilitary organization, with the military. Okay, in the police departments, you have basic civilians who have no real professional training doing stuff that they want to juggernaut the citizenry. And that's what you see happening. I got a badge, listen to me. The military doesn't operate like that. The military, you are not obligated to follow unlawful orders. And that's a fact. That's a specific fact. You might go against the grain. You might be thrown in the brig for what you're doing. But if you know it's right and you feel it's right, then stand up for it, do what you got to do. So military people are not going to do that. If anybody even attempted attempted to do something in regards to the Constitution that is unlawful. Constitution can only be changed by the legislative body. Anybody that goes on above that, there'll be different factions in the military that would put a stop to that. So that's kind of stupid. Hitler is Hitler. There's only one Hitler. When people use analogies and stuff, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Hitler is Hitler. Now, is he Hitler-like? Let's do a question. She's saying, and I'm not defending Donald Trump. I'm talking to intelligent people who are using common sense. Let's forget logic. Let's just use our common sense. Did the Democratic Party give us a primary so that we can decide if Joe Biden is somebody that we want to vote for? Did he defend his record? Did the Democratic Party even have primaries? Wow, that seems kind of dictatorial, don't you think? Don't you think? They keep telling you how to do this. They keep telling you how to do that. They're not giving you a choice. Isn't that anti-democratic? The Republicans had a primary. But Donald Trump is like Hitler. Get this clown out of my face, please. Please get this clown out of my face. If anybody's being dictatorial, it's Joe Biden. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that, and then he doesn't do it. Very dictatorial.
So I'm trying to say hello to everybody. Hello, AJ. Iron Will. Let's see who else came on here. I'm just going to read y'all comments as they are quite funny. Frank, you say, I'm tired of this lady. She's getting paid by the Democrats, Democrats. You think? You think she might be? And I saw a comment up here. Let's see. I didn't want to put it on the screen, but it said, and that's Allegory set forth. How you doing? It says, what if so-called American Negroes are in the Klan? Do tell, what does that mean exactly? All right, so let's see. And Tanaya, how you doing? Long time no see. And Johnny Blaze, how you doing? Long time no see as well. He says, just checking in. Hello, Sister D. Hey, don't forget the Democrats are just like the Clintons. Just look at Haiti. You will get the same with a Democrat in office in November. The mask will come off now. It's already off, right?
and my question is this. Haven't the Democrats, didn't Jim Clyburn say he has no doubt? I have no doubt. Wait, let me get his look. I have no doubt that the black people will come out and save democracy. They have no other choice but to save democracy. Because at the end of the day, democracy must be saved. Black people, the Democratic Party has done a lot for black people. I can't name it right now, but they've done a lot for black people. No doubt.
The average logical thinker, how you doing? Says Demetra Donovan. Good evening. I tagged you both in comments of stuff I mentioned. Did you see them? You know, for whatever reason, I don't get notifications from YouTube. I actually have to go in there and actually go into the mentions. So I'll go in there and look, and I'll be forgetting about them, to be honest with you. But I'll go look at the mentions. Maybe I'll look the next time Donovan is speaking. But no, I did not get them. Let's see here.
Malachi's comment.
Huh?
Read Malachi's comment when you get to it.
Okay, I'm gonna get to it right now. And Kelly says, no, they did not, and don't forget they didn't let Chicago citizens vote on if they wanted to be a sanctuary city. Yep, they forget about it, right? Andre, how you doing? Malachi, you say, isn't she the same woman who says she should let many men on her body that she has lost count? Oh yeah, I knew it was something crazy. We don't need politics from her. Yeah, she reminiscing about the glory days. I don't know. Godspeed, how you doing? And Delta, what's going on with you? Says, hi, Dimitri. I love your commentary news we can use. I like that. Thank you so much. And Perry, how you doing? Says, we have a myriad of example of, where'd it go? Joe, egregiously disrespecting black folks. Give me one by Trump. Yeah, I'm sure he's got a few. Godspeed says, I hope he doesn't think that the black people will say democracy, because I know this black person will be staying home and watching the show. You can't fool me twice. Absolutely. Metamorphosis, how you doing? You said, oh, Sayo, y'all is letting the illegal immigrants in our country constitutional. It ain't supposed to be right, but Biden's kind of doing what he wants, right? Open borders for all. Jupiter says democracy is bad when you let it get out of hand. Even Plato said so. Yes, indeed. One who cares. How you doing? Uh, he says third grade was lit today. Are you teaching a third grade class?
Yeah,
Alonzo, how you doing?
and real quick, metamorphosis. Also, it is the federal government's job to secure the borders. We are being invaded, and Joe Biden is doing absolutely nothing about it.
Or he opened the borders. Hello, Alonzo. How you doing? He says, I'm here at a respectable hour. Yes, last couple of times you've been coming here late. And Kelly says the Democrats have done nothing for black people. Nope. And Brother Reggie says fish sandwiches for all blacks that vote blue. Right. You know, is that hard stale bread with the tilapia. Maxwell says this current regime is horrible, reminiscent of Senior Bush or Baby Bush, just bad. Black first. That guy from Texas says Jen Clyburn says stop effing with effing with him about reparations. You ain't getting it. He sure did say it in Brooklyn. It says forcing one candidate on us and keeping others off the ballot isn't democracy. Right, but they're telling you it is. And Allegory says, I just asked a question looking at what is democracy. That's all. Anyway, good evening, Dimitri and Donovan. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I was just wondering why you had asked that. Johnny says, no, Sister D, the gloves just came off the last 4 years. The real mask is coming off after this election. Oh, got you. And 1619, how you doing? Says couch campaign 2024, as with a lot of people. They're saying they're going to stay on the couch. And let's see here. Oh, Odd Negroes, how you doing? You're welcome, you average logical thinker. And Michael says, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson to Biden, we will never turn our back on migrants. Please let 500,000 migrants work. Yeah, they're trying to get work permits for the migrants that are there. And they're asking the Biden administration to help them.
So that'll put it over 1 million people he's legalized by executive
pen.
Yeah,
keep talking my phone.
Yeah, by executive pen, 1 million people he's now legalized to work in the United States. And we're not even talking about the people that they're not highlighting to do that. And it's super, super sad. It is super, super sad. But you guys, isn't it funny how the Democrats keep telling you, and we're not here to bash the Democrats. We're just telling you, like NWA, we're just street reporting what we see. I say on this show and my show all the time, reality is what you see outside your door when you walk outside your door. So guess what? The 99-cent stores have all closed. I want you to use your basic common sense. We're not talking about Neiman's and Marcus. We're not talking about Kohl's. We're not talking about Target, major corporation type stuff, right? Where their prices are a little bit higher and, kind of up there. The 99-cent stores all just went out of business. If any store should have been on good footing after the pandemic, it should be the 99-cent store and Dollar Tree. But yet the Democrats are telling you the economy's doing great. The economy's doing great. Do you know here in California, it is so bad here in California that there's a guy who's the Pick and Save CEO. He wants to save all of the 99-cent stores here in California because, again, California is very expensive to live here. How are these people going to eat? How are we going to do it for those of us that have been shopping at the 99-cent store? This is what the Democratic Party is doing, and we're seeing it in real time. They're bringing in people, giving them all this money, but they won't give you a natural-born American citizen one dime. If you make $1 over the whatever thing is, isn't that crazy? Real quick, I can understand welfare when, hey, I'm working, but I need like $100 to eat. I just need $100 from the government to help me out, supplement me. No problem. But if you do absolutely nothing and sit on your ass, we'll give you almost $1,000 in food stamps, and we'll give you cash money, medical, and all that other stuff. When you absolutely do absolutely nothing, we're just messed up. Are you talking about revolution is on the way? I don't know what that means, how it's going to be. But like I tell you ladies out here, I tell you guys, you better be able to defend yourselves because the elections are coming.
Hey, Brother Samuel, how you doing? He says, greetings, D&D. Now I see a new old strategy of Biden saying he's going to cancel student loans. Yeah, then do it already. Why are you doing it like a little drop of water in a bucket? Oh, I'm going to do some here. See how they like that. Then I'm going to do a little bit more here. Just do it all. Why you got to go through all the stuff? Just do it all. I mean, there really is, I would say, great justification to do it because you're sending all that money everywhere else. So, and that money, low key, high key, belongs to American citizens. So it doesn't make any sense to want them to pay all that money back. And I think people who even owe PPP loans and all that, I think they should get a Hail Mary on that too, since they're sending all that money away and then using it to help the migrants. So absolutely, what is it remains to be seen, right? Okay, so let me see. Sparkling for Jesus, how you doing? And yes, tonight, thank you for reminding everybody to hit the like button. I love it. Appreciate you for that. Lynn, how you doing? Says, but the Biden voters will blame the economy on Trump. Yeah, but that's typical with politics to blame each other, right? Go back and forth. It was them, no, it was them. It's like it's kind of both of y'all, Let's see here. See, I was talking about the dollar store. Mike, nice. How you doing? And hope you're doing well. And Eight Ball Side Pocket, he says the Rothschilds showed that crisis presents opportunities. Let's open up the mom and pop turnkeys. Yeah, this is a perfect opportunity to do that. But you have the 99-cent store struggling. What does that really say? I think that's really a good thermometer to take the temperature of the economy. 99-cent store. You ain't got $1. Going to the 99-cent store, then wow. But they're going to tell us differently, right? And Jupiter says, yep, speaking from a vet perspective. And thank you for your service, by the way. He says other vets, former and current, are saying that same thing. If 2024 goes south, if you know, you know. Let's see here. Skip down a little bit. And Michael says, Demetria, Joe Biden wants to do little for student loan forgiveness because he is testing reactions from moderate Democrats and Republicans. Oh, yeah, he's definitely doing that. And he doesn't even really want to do it either, because you got to think about it. Joe Biden is a corporatist, and he is beholden to those banks, and those banks are getting what from the student loans? They're getting a lot of interest. So if you cancel the debt, then you cancel the interest, and there's that relationship. So if as you said, if you know, Alonzo, rather, he says the Dems Democrat program only benefits the abject poor, which aren't the FBA. 2/3 of us are middle class now. Yeah, and
I have to disagree with that. I'm going to cut you off, Dimitri. I have to disagree with that. Whenever I hear somebody say I'm middle class, the middle class got wiped out in 2008. It comes down to either you have it or you don't. I just don't. This class system in the United States, economically, there is no such thing. Either you got it or you don't. I know a bunch of people that are so-called middle class that are so damn upside down in their house. If you're upside down in your house, that means you ain't got no money. You don't have no worth. You owe more than the house is worth. You're basically bankrupt. Like I said, and everybody's entitled to how they want to interpret it. But if we look at it logically, it's either you got it or you don't. We are a land of have and have nots. Either you got it or you don't. I know a bunch of people that are middle class that are living in their RV on the street, and they still consider themselves middle class. I know a bunch of people that are up there in Northern California that make 6 figures and are living in their RV. So would you consider them middle class or upper middle class? You see what I'm saying? And I know it's all about perspective, but to me, it's either you got it or you don't.
Yeah. So as they say, it's either the bourgeoisie or the proletariat. Proletariat is kind of like the working class, and whatever is supposed to be in the middle is really kind of on a non-existent side. And it's sad because 15 years ago, one could say there was a middle class, and maybe even a little bit sooner than that, but it's bad, and it's going to get worse, And it's crazy because people don't understand. I see people complaining about McDonald's and raise their prices, and they talk about, oh my gosh, McDonald's raise their prices. Like, well, just be eating at home. Eat at home. Why you spending that kind of money eating a hamburger that probably ain't real anyway? Just eat at home. But it's not just McDonald's. It's going to be everywhere, because now they got to justify, especially if it's in California, that $20 minimum wage. And, they're paying more for stuff as well. Inflation it's all encompassing. It's not just the people on the 99%, if you will. It's not just them that's feeling inflation. Everybody is going to feel it at some point in time or another. Maybe not all at the same time, but definitely going to feel it. Let's see here. Yeah, average logical thinker. He says, facts, either you're broke or you're rich. Ain't no in between, in my opinion. And the common man, how you doing? And Tanaya said Donovan is 100% correct. There is no middle class. Yes, the middle class is it disappears. Odd Negroes, it says if you owe the bank rent, you're broke and a slave. Yeah, it's actually the bank's house. And Keisha, how you doing? He says we don't want or need any more empty promises. Get it done or miss us with that hot air. Absolutely.
Hey, I have a question. I have a question, and this is for all the ladies. I never thought taking you to McDonald's would be a high-end date, ladies. I never thought that. Wendy's, whatever. Baby, look, I'm taking you to Wendy's because you know I love you. It's the prices are going up. That's going to be an expensive place to go.
That's because it's not a high-end date, okay? It never has been and never will be. Hello, Laura. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I love it. Appreciate you for that. And the Woke Breaker, how you doing? He says California is a blue mess, though. Yeah, California, it's I want to say it's blue all the way through. There are some red pockets like in Orange County and places like that. But yeah, it'll be almost impossible, I would imagine, to flip California red. I don't even know last time it was red, but yeah. All right, so let's see. Ooh, all these comments just kind of skipped up. Let me hide this so I can see where I was. There we go. Brooklyn says even rich people like cardio and complaining about food prices. Oh, Cardi B. Okay, got you. Cardi, because cardio. Yeah, Cardi B. Yeah, everybody's gonna feel it. As Walter said, inflation, you don't necessarily feel it all at once, depending on what it is, right? It's something that eats away at your savings slowly but surely, because if you're not making more money to combat the everything going up, then you just start eating away at your income and your discretionary.
In 2008, what was the estimate that most Americans had in case of an emergency? What was the price that they said that for an emergency most Americans had in their savings for an emergency?
So I think they said it was like $400 or $500 was
right.
The average. Yeah.
Now, do you know what they say?
Yeah,
Zero.
Nothing. Yeah.
Zero. Most Americans do not have any savings if something went awry. That's where we're at right now, you guys.
Yeah, Lady Diana, eat at home and learn to cook. That stuff ain't good for you no way. It's not even food. And there's been studies. I saw something not too long ago. I forget where it was, somewhere where there's no longer McDonald's. And they kept a hamburger and fries in like a museum type of setting. And that hamburger and fries is the same as it was the day it was made. So it's like you putting that through your body. Food goes bad and rots and molds and stuff, but not that. So it's like, do you really want to be eating that anyway? So yeah, eat at home. I know it's probably foreign now because people have just gotten away from that. But yeah, try to eat at home. There's all kind of recipes and stuff on YouTube. Hell, I love making a hamburger at home. To me, a homemade hamburger is the best because you can do what you want to do to it, right? And Miss Sweet Talks, you say, true Demetria, eat at home. Inflation is too high. Absolutely. And GoFi is how you doing? It says 4% Black unemployment. What is the national, like 3 something? Because we always know that Black is higher. It's probably even more higher than that because what they don't account for are the people who just stop reporting, right? There's some people just like, I'm not going to tell y'all what I'm doing. I'm not working. I may be collecting cans or doing something else for money, but they don't even count those people who aren't even included in those numbers anymore.
And then somebody made a good point here. Biden said that tuition forgiveness last election, and he reneged. Now, we know that he reneged last election. Either Biden or Trump, whichever one gets in, anything that they promise, they don't have to fulfill because they can't run for re-election afterwards. So if you put Biden right back in, if you didn't get nothing in the first term, what the hell makes you think you're going to get something in the second term?
Right. But, unfortunately, there'll be some people who fall for it, and let's see here. Common Man says, I owe no mortgage and pay no rent. All I do is pay my taxes each year and I homestead. So my taxes are at a minimum. And that homesteading is gangster right there.
And we got to get into the mind state that if you guys are paying these homes, pay them off and keep them. I know your kids are rotten and you spoil them rotten and they don't know anything, but put your property in a trust or something to where it could be passed down to the next generation. We got to start holding land and housing. What do you think these Asians are doing? What do you think these Hispanics are doing? They're buying up the block. Where I live, there's a whole cul-de-sac where everybody in that cul-de-sac is related to each other. They bought house after house after house.
Hey, Arneva, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, another thing too is we gotta realize, some of y'all that coming off as a little bit of an elitist. Y'all got mortgages and y'all didn't come up with all them bones that when you first got your house either. Unless you got a lot of money. It took y'all about 30 years to pay it off too. So let's not. And another thing too is real estate and rent and rentals are through the roof. I'm seeing stories every day where people are like, I was paying this amount and now the landlord boosted it up like $1,000 and there's no way I could pay it. And so, there are landlords who are greedy. And I also read a report not too long ago saying that it's actually cheaper now to rent in a lot of cases than to have a mortgage, because depending on where you live, the average price of a home, I think in California is like 600,000, maybe $7. So, you got to look at all of that. So, let's see here. That guy from Texas, you say, according to old girl, the Cheesecake Factory isn't a high-end date. Yeah, she'd starve if I was a man. She'd be waiting. Hey, Damon, how you doing? And let's see. I just want to catch up a little bit. Bubba Burgers, Odd Negroes. Is that what you like? Jupiter says U.S. establishment wants us to keep spending and having to rely on them. But the crazy part is it's only a fool that's going to keep spending. Stop spending. Only buy what you need. This ain't the time to buy what you want, right? Buy what you need. It's okay to get what you want sometimes, but we don't live in that economy anymore where you can just kind of just do both. You gotta really have to do one, and that's what you need, because after a while, you ain't gonna be able to do what you need. Socrates, how you doing? He says, if bacteria won't eat it, you shouldn't eat it either. And bacteria will not eat McDonald's or fast food, period. It's been tested. Yep, that is absolutely correct. But you know what? I bet you go right now, it's dinner time, you'll see a whole line full of people wrapped around McDonald's. So Damien says, there's an app called Yucca. Yeah, you know what? I somebody talked about that on one of the shows we had before. It says that scans the barcode to give you a go or no go on food products. Yes, I am going to download that and drive my daughter crazier. And Metamorphosis says, did y'all hear about the tanker that crashed that bridge? Folks saying it was a terrorist that hacked the CPU technology on board. Even the black box got hacked. I haven't seen anything about that. I've seen people saying about a lot of conspiracy theories that have been unproven. So there really is no telling it. Even if any of that is true, we'll probably never really know, right? But anything's possible. And Jupiter says, I tell people to get mentally and physically fit, learn, plan, shift. Okay. And Willie, if I didn't already, how you doing? It says the court step in on the loans. Okay. And proper perspective. How you doing? It says this is why voting is an absolute waste. Yeah, some people say that. It's like y'all don't really, care about our votes anyway. The will of the people, right? Brogu, how you doing? It says, brothers and sisters, these politicians and the well-to-do have stolen this country from us. The sellouts are trying to get their crumbs off the table, and we are left struggling. Yeah, but at some point in time, we got to say, all right, that's enough. The guy from Texas, he says Kamala has vanished. We haven't heard a word from her. I think she's maybe in Israel now. I think I saw she's in Israel. She's visiting the family of the hostages. I want to say I saw that not too long ago, so maybe that's where she is, right? Go Fight, you say blacks have cash jobs, unreported unemployment, right? And but they don't account for that. It's a lot of people who are just, you crazy. Say I sell dirty weed. Miss Sweet Talk says real estate and rent prices are ridiculous. Yeah, and it's true for all walks of life. It's not just, as some people say, single mamas, whatever. It's true for everybody. Rent is just, it's crazy, and a lot of it is due to greed. Because a lot of those landlords' houses are paid off, and it's like, oh, we got expenses. It's like, what more expenses do you have? I ain't asking you to do nothing to the house. House is paid off, and you need to raise it $1,000 a month. It's crazy. Lonzo says big corporations are buying up all the real estate and won't sell. I know they were doing that a couple of years ago. I think it was Zillow. They were doing it, and then they ended up getting stuck with a bunch of inventory that they couldn't sell, because at that point, it just kind of crashed out where people were like, okay, this real estate is stupid. Benito, how you doing? Says Demetri, good evening and happy 25th belated birthday, my Ebony Queen. I'll be 25 on Saturday. Says, who I still love, even though you dislike my fellow migrants. I don't dislike your migrants. I don't. And thank you for that too. I don't dislike them at all. I don't blame them either for coming over here. If I can go somewhere and there's milk and honey just to flow and shoot, I go too. So I don't necessarily blame them at all. I don't dislike them. I just don't like the politicians giving them taxpayers money. I know people who have come over here, as you say, the right way, and they're still waiting on their, citizenship and all that. There's things they got to do to be in compliance. And so even them, they're like, it's not fair that I'm over here the right way, waiting on, to be considered a citizen and stuff. And I get to see people, crash through the open borders and voila, they're in. So I don't dislike them. And I hope you guys didn't mistake.
And I just want to say this, you guys, in regards to this Jennifer Lewis and people like her, what is your thoughts on these entertainers and athletes putting their 2 cents, especially, you don't see this going on in the other communities, only in the Black community. What are your guys' thoughts on entertainers and athletes being political and doing what they get? Like I said, The Rock is still getting pushback because he's like, you know what, hell with it. I'm not going to say anything. So what do you guys think?
So I'm sorry, what was the question again?
I was just saying, back to the Jennifer Lewis thing, what is everybody's thoughts on entertainers and athletes being involved in politics? They got the money. Some of this stuff doesn't even affect them. Like I said, if money was an issue to them, just like the Democrats say, oh, the biggest problem in politics is the Citizens United thing, right? Well, dang, you had for 2 years, you had the House, the presidency, and the Senate, and you didn't repeal Citizens United. If money in politics is a problem, why didn't you do something about it?
Right. The NGR room, how you doing? Says my new lease went up 10%. And it's like, why? Why are you raising people's rent like that? Did they get a new job or a raise or more income? How what they got? It's funny because it's like you need a certain amount of income to get into the house, but once you get in there, they're gonna raise the rent on you. Is like, did you do a background check on me to see if I can afford that? Or you just raising the rent on me?
Right. Where are your politicians that can cap all this stuff? You can cap rent. How much a person could do annually and all this other stuff. I mean, we have, the sad thing is, citizens, we sit here and act like we are totally powerless and the politicians and this is that. We are the government. It is us. Why do you think in France, whenever the people don't like something, they shut the place down? They just tie up the interstate, stop flying the airplanes. They just shut it down. And then the politicians, do what they do and how they do it. We're the bosses in this country. We can cap all of this stuff. You can cap everything if you wanted to and say, nope, no more than this, no more than that, no more than this. But we don't do it.
Brooklyn say this would be the best time to buy land in the Midwest or down south. Yeah, I mean,
where's the money? I ain't got no money. Where you gonna get?
Well, I mean, even in Texas, and I guess it's considered the South, real estate is kind of on the high side, because they got people, coming in from other places like California and stuff. So real estate is high. It's not what it was when I first moved here, although I think it's trying to trend down a little bit. But I know, especially here in Harris County, it's almost 2% for tax, for property taxes, which is the highest in the nation. So I don't know if that's just if it's Texas or just Harris County, but 2% that's pretty steep. And really, the mortgage rate is about 7 something. So that's historically, I would think, well, it's in recent times it's higher than it's been. So add those things together, in addition to the price of the house, then yeah, that's a pretty big mortgage payment.
But here's the problem. See, we know the theory. That's the thing about Black people. We know what's going on, whatever the deal is. There's an old saying in the Bible: you are supposed to save money when everybody is buying houses and stuff. See, that's the trick. That is when you're supposed to save the money, right? But no, us as a culture, we've been raised as consumers. Buy. And then when the economy goes low, you ain't got no money to take advantage of the economy that hits when it's low. That's why gentrification, where do you think the developers come in? Do they come in when everything is happy and great? No, they make the area violent. They make the area drug infested, homeless, and all this other stuff, right? They drive the price down so then they could come in and buy the land and the properties and stuff like that. But us as people, got to have those $400 Jordans. I got to have name brand clothes on. Got to have all the toys. Got to have this. Oh, the house is $400,000. I just sold Big Mama's house. I could take it on a mortgage, whatever, instead of waiting and being patient. For those of you guys that say you're Christians and all this other stuff, in the Bible, it even tells you that you were supposed to save your money in the good times when everything seems great and wait upon the famine to happen. Then you go and do what you're supposed to do. But we don't do that as a people.
I think said, just like Antonio Moore says, entertainers are just a decadent veil. I mean, I could see that. I mean, unfortunately, people do listen to celebrities, you know, all of that. I'm not one of them. Like I said, I tend to block them when they get to talking too much about something they shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't talking like that before. You know, so don't talk like that now. Let's see here. Aniba says they didn't get money out of politics because they are addicted to it. And then Cleverlane, how you doing? Says they can see that most Black people are entertained easily, so bring on the celebs. They don't take Black people seriously. And that's because we don't take each other seriously. We should spiritually awaken. How you doing? Says speak people have a defeatist mentality and justify their cowardice. Yes, indeed. Miss Sweet Talkie said, we the people, and Damon says entertainers and athletes are part of a different class. They don't know a real struggle, but they pretend like they do. Oh, we got to get them. We can't have Trump. It's like, shut up. Because none of this is going to affect you at all. Not one bit of it. Michael says, Demetri and Donovan, Clinton gave us a budget surplus in 2000 at $236 billion. Was reparations necessary at that time? It was necessary when our ancestors was on that plantation. It was necessary then. So it's always been necessary. Jupiter says, it says in the U.S. Constitution, you can act the check. U.S. establishment. I think I misunderstand the comment. It could be a typo somewhere. The NGR room, he says, Black people are migrating south. Yeah, there's more Black people here in the South than there are anywhere in the United States. So that is true. And Beauty with Brain says, yep, they're making so we can't afford it on purpose. Absolutely. The average logical thinker says land prices is ridiculous as well. My friend said less than an acre costs $44,000 in South Carolina. That is absolutely crazy. Enlighten, how you doing? Says Jennifer Lewis as a citizen can give her opinion. That doesn't mean that I have to listen to it or follow a Black person. Absolutely. Yeah, she could give her opinion, but all that fear mongering she's doing, you know what it is they're upset because Black people are starting to have an awakening, you know. And the other thing too is they always say, oh, democracy's in danger. Democracy's in danger. Got to protect democracy. And I'm going to tell you, number one reason why you can know they're lying. The Democrats are telling you that the democracy needs to be protected, but that democracy is not extended to you when you say, well, I want to go vote somewhere else. When you say, I want to leave the Democratic Party, then you can't exercise democracy. You know, it's something wrong with you if you want to do that. So that's how you know they don't really mean it. They mean exercise democracy, so it's in their favor, not you leaving and exercising democracy, because democracy means you have a say-so, to say so how you want to vote. So just know that they don't actually really mean that. It's just a catchphrase at this point. See how easy it is to say democracy's in danger? Corey says, I'm thinking of moving out of the South. And where are you going to go? And Dwayne says, that's why they hate FBA delineation. It's following up their evil plans, badly cut the check or no Black vote, period, November 2024. And that's really the way it's got to be. Old school, how you doing? It says every FBA in America should buy land in the state you live in. It makes sense. Thunder, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And DJ's Revenge, how you doing? Says, why though? Why though? What? That guy from Texas says land in rural areas are much cheaper than in the city. Yeah, but you also got to do so much to it, right? I mean, there's a lot of land here in Texas, but you got trees. I'm planting trees and swamps. And I mean, you got the money. Yeah, you can definitely landscape it, if you will. Common Man says land is cheap. It's the improvement. There you go. I should have read your comment. It's the improvement that costs money. Metamorphosis says boys in the hood. Trade dad told you. Sure did. All right, let's see. I think I might open up the link, but let me skip down just a little bit. Thunder, you ain't missed nothing. We are actually miss Jennifer Lewis trying to scare the bejesus out of people by telling them that Trump is going to smash the Constitution and make everybody bow down and worship him because he's the king and, all that other stuff. So just, nothing, just a little fear mongering. Johnny Blaze says, here in Florida, you can sell drugs in broad daylight in certain areas, like literally. Really? Ronnie D is going for that? Common Man says an improvement is when you build structure on land. Okay, so talking about Swedes. And NGR says many of us don't want to learn a skilled trade, and that's what would really help. Leroy Brown, how you doing? Says Black First Family. Yes, indeed. The last good man in Jersey, how you doing? Says Dimitri, do you think Trump will win 2024? I'm not one to say, because it's kind of early on. Anything really could happen. Yesterday Trump announced that he thinks it should be left up to the states as to how they want to govern, with the abortion and all of that. Before he was kind of bragging about it's because of me that it's banned on a national level, because the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. But yesterday he was saying it should be up to the state. So I don't know. Maybe he'll lose some conservatives who are not in love with that idea. It's still kind of early yet. Anything could happen. I mean, anything. But Trump is looking really good. They said in like 6 or 7 swing states that he is leading in the polls. And that's huge because that's where I think part of the election is with those swing states, because they could go either way. They're usually purple, for lack of better words, because there's red and there's blue. They're usually purple. Let's see. Mr. X says, did anyone hear Putin said Jesus was black? Yeah, we heard him say it, but we didn't need to hear him tell us that, right? We already knew that. Arneva says, most people who claim to be Christian don't adhere to the lessons in the Bible at all. Bama 80, how you doing? Says that woman has been ran through. Oh, Lord, they're talking about a good old Jennifer Lewis. Yikes. And Belinda, he says, Jennifer Lewis. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Dang it skipped up. Hold on 1 second. I want to get okay. So Jennifer Lewis belongs to the streets. Oh, okay. Rolando, he says, yeah, Dimitri, reparations have been on the table since the Civil War. The fight ain't new. We're finally getting on code. Yes, about time, right? Benji said, unless Trump can close the doors to Congress and Supreme Court, he cannot become a dictator, right? But see, they know people won't take it that far. They'll just go with the fear mongering. All right, let me skip down a little bit. Keith, how you doing? Says, anyways, notice that we have a tsunami of sellouts here lately. Oh, yeah, it's going to get worse. Clip Shorts, how you doing? Say Black First Family. Yes, indeed. Brother Tyrone, how you doing? And I hope you are doing well. I know that you are, you're not at home, put it that way. And so I hope everything is going well. You say, please, Black people, register as non-party affiliated voters in your state. Get away from Democrats and Republicans. That is something tangible we can all do to help break the two-party system and get candidates who will champion the issues that earn our vote.
Yes, register to vote. If you're not going to, we're not telling you to vote, but register to vote, because that's going to give them an indication of just like what happened in Louisiana, all the people that sat it out. And real quick, when you get a chance, Clubber Lang had a really good comment. I think you should read out as well.
So yeah, Tyrone, please get well. Let's see, we go back here. Clubber Lane says, did you guys see those buildings in the Black areas? Those are industrial and residential buildings that are rotting away. Imagine if Black folks purchase those for dirt cheap.
And the reason I wanted you to read that is, when we were in South Africa, where were we staying?
We were at I think called the Fashion District. So it's kind of like a downtown field, if you will.
But what were they doing with it? They took these old garages and these old industrial buildings, and they're converting them into lofts and stuff. We had an apartment, a suite that was so huge. When I was across the street at the club, I could have brought everybody from the club into the spot that we were in. Of course, Demetra and her daughter were in the suite while I was in the slave quarters, and partied all over the deals. But that's what they're doing in a lot of these countries. So like you said, Clever Lane, what you can do with those buildings and stuff you could plop them off and make apartments with them and all these old buildings and renovate them. But guess what? When it comes to Black people, they don't want to give us nothing. Even if we had those ideas, they're going to put it with a bunch of red tape.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's things that we could do, but we need to get some groups together, right? Some organizations, or where we can,
Investment, yeah.
yeah, pull money together and say, all right, I saw a building, we got the money, let's go, because that's what everybody else does, right? They get the money, uh, pile it together, and go make a move. You can't make a move without the money, that's for sure. Willie say there's a video called Nazi Town USA on YouTube. Y'all might want to look at if you have time. I will try. In Old School, he says there will be reparations rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in Greenwood District on May 16th to 18th. And what is the goal of that, if you don't mind me asking? Because I feel like by now they know we want it, right? And let's see here. Common Man says, to be honest, I could get a break on taxes if I use the fact that I'm a veteran in the state of Pennsylvania. My taxes could almost be wiped out completely. I'll do that when I'm older. Yes, indeed. But you said they're homestead, so you get quite a bit of a break, right? Is it 30% off or something like that? I think in Texas is like that. Don't quote me. Miss Sweet Talk says, y'all ain't paying taxes. Wait a minute, armed forces.
Well, think about it. Think about it. That's one of the benefits about answering the call and serving the country. You don't have you'll be exempt from taxes. I don't pay any taxes off of my retirement pay. I don't pay any taxes on my property because I served. So again, I just gave Damon, the California taxes is high in California. I just gave him the link to file for his, so he can save him some dough. But see, this is the thing. The people that, and you don't have to serve. I'm not telling people to serve. But when Uncle Rufus, who got kicked out of the military, is telling these kids who have no options in their community, man, don't go to the military. That's the white man's military, whatever. It ain't for everybody. I get it. But when you ain't got a damn pot to piss in nor a window to throw it out of, why not let that kid, if that's what the kid wants to do, don't steer him not to do it, to sit in the neighborhood and join a gang and ruin his life. If they want to go and do that, let them go do that. Look at Demetrius. She's still trying to fight for her benefits right now.
And they gonna give them to me too. Hey Terry, how you doing? Says hi from California. I think too, with the whole military thing, yeah, it's definitely an option. But I think we also got to ask why should one feel compelled, like, oh my gosh, I'm struggling here, let me go to the military so I can make money, and potentially risk my life if I get sent into war, whatever the case is. That shouldn't be a choice. Go to the military or struggle. Things shouldn't be so bad to where people, they just can't survive, and it's sad.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not the one I don't trump people to go into the military as a first option, second option, or third option. But damn it, if the person is determined to, if that's their only way out, yes, then go. It's better than staying here. Just go.
Yes, indeed. Michael says, Marcel Dixon says, I left the Democratic Party because people did not get anything in return after fighting hard on the inside. I knew the party did not care. Yeah, especially for those who are in these coalitions and committees and stuff like that. It's like, if you really care for the people, by now you've seen, and I'll say, as I say, I'm nonpartisan. Neither party cares for Black people, but there are things that we can do, right? There's things we could do to minimize that. As Tyrone said, vote and register independent or nonpartisan or whatever. And so that nobody assumes your vote. But whenever you register for a party, they're like, okay, well, we know we got this many people that are registered Democrats or whatever, but register nonpartisan. So that way they'll have to actually work for that vote, because that's really who they fight for, is the people who are uncommitted or independent or undecided. Those are the ones that they really want, because they're actually the ones that's going to swing the election. All right, let's see here. Tyrone says, if you want to be tax exempt, those service benefits. So you have to have the service benefits to get that. Okay.
Absolutely. Like I said, if it's an ends to a mean, there's a way to do it. A lot of you guys are entrepreneurs, right? The military, and I'm not trying to hype them up. I'm just saying, if you don't know these things, through the VA, they will give you a business loan guaranteed and backed up by the United States government. If you're a veteran and you want a house, you can get any house you want because it's backed up and secured by the United States government. There's a means to it. I mean, right now in California, at the base that's right across the street from my house, you will see Asians and Hispanics that are all over there doing their little 4 years, and then they get out and they're veterans and they're buying houses and becoming landlords.
Yes, indeed. And Brother Ray says, I thought about joining the military when I was 19, but my flat feet kept me from passing the physical. Thank God. Yeah, my father, I want to join the army, and my father was like, I don't think so. No, you not. And that is why I didn't go in. But yeah, my daddy was not having it. So there's that. Michael said, Dimitri and Donovan, other countries provide free public higher education and advanced vocational training for their citizens without asking them to serve in the military. That is true. No, Donovan talking about I was in the service because, me and my homegirls used to go on the bases back in the day, right? We would load up my Mustang and then we go to the bases, and my daughter,
she supported the troops and brought and brought the homies.
I did, brought a car full of homies with me, and man, those are good times. Don't get me started. We get sponsored on to the base because you have to have, a serviceman sponsor you on, right? You sponsored on, you in there, you in that thing, boy. You have the club, they have like a little club and stuff like that, or you could just hang out with whoever you was hanging out with. But those were good times, boy. Just to be 18, 19 again. I would do it for like a week.
Where did you meet your baby daddy? It wasn't at the club on the base, but it was at a club. Young people doing the thing at the Metro.
Yes, Club Metro, the infamous Club Metro is where I met my baby daddy. He was there with his homeboys. He was stationed at 29 Palms, and they happened to be up there when our worlds collided, literally. Thunder, he says, the comedian Godfrey did a skit where he was talking about a kingpin in another country. He says everybody has their own mafia, Italian, Russian, but not us. We can't even organize crime. Yeah, I see what you say. I mean, if you want to count the, the Bloods and the Crips, but what do they really control other than each other, right? They're not really controlling nothing outside of the block and each other. Those other entities, yeah, they got a lot on other entities. So I see where that would make sense. Damon says, oh, my only regret was not becoming a warrant officer when I was in the Army as a 6'7" in.
Yeah,
that's
his MOS.
Got you.
See, wait. Did you guys notice that? Demetra understood what MOS meant, but she didn't understand what 6'7" in is.
Shut up. Vito Brain says, my dad talked me out of joining the military. I'm glad that I listened to him. Yeah, I don't know. My dad was not having that. And Tyrone, we say, no down payment on the house for veterans. Yeah, the VA loan is the best loan to have in the nation. And some of y'all who are veterans just sitting on your VA loan, paying all that high rent and stuff. It's like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
But that also goes back to our fathers and our grandfathers. Because remember, those benefits, think about after World War II. Look at all the white people and Hispanics that were allowed to use their military benefits to buy these little Cracker Jack homes where the black people were discouraged from using their benefits. And that's just something that we do. And see, the system is designed to say no. Demetra, how many veterans do I help and have them get to the 100% or whatever? Because, I don't want to do that. I'll just take the 80 and walk away. If you take the 80 and walk away, well, then who wins? They do. And that's a difference between $1,000 between what you got now and another $1,000. Two of my buddies, they decided to do it. They played the game, got to the 100%. One of them quit his job. He said, I'm done.
Yeah, and A-Ball, you make a good point. Then why are so many homeless veterans? That's a good point.
Well, you got to remember, you got homeless veterans. If you just do 4 years or 10 years and you don't get to a whole pension, you're just a veteran. That doesn't mean you got money coming to you. So a lot of these people that you see are homeless, they're not pension veterans. They're people that did their time and then they got out.
I think he's making a point. I think he's making a point, though. Yeah. This service to the country was so wonderful and pretty much almost paid the ultimate sacrifice. But yet, you come home and whether you're service connected or not, you're still homeless. And I agree. I don't think that there should be a homeless veteran, but I think we also need to keep in line with, especially for Black people. And this is why I know my father, because my father was what they call a conscious objector as well. He was drafted into the Vietnam War. And he was like, absolutely, I'm not going. Luckily, he was not sent to prison. They just thought he was off his rocker, right? Per some of the things that they were saying to him. But yeah, that's the premise, especially Black people. Even back in the day, soldiers getting murdered in their uniforms, by white supremacy. And so my dad objected because, for one, as he said, and a Vietnamese said, Black man, this ain't your war. Don't come over here. This ain't your war. You can't, you aren't respected at home. So why are you gonna come and fight this white man's war? So that's why my father didn't go, and that's why he wouldn't allow me to go. Among a whole host of other reasons. So.
Right, and I'm going to answer that. That was 8-ball side pocket. I'm going to tell you why there's a bunch of homeless veterans. How many people sitting in Congress are actually veterans themselves? Notice that the World War II vets, up until Vietnam and a little bit after Vietnam, most people, even if you ran for Congress, you had to have a military type background. That was like not required, but it was a plus. Over 93% of people in Congress right now have never served in the military. We're at peacetime. Why is the budget of the military almost $1 trillion now, and we're in peace? Now, you take that $1 trillion and all this money that we as taxpayers give to the United States government to defend this country, and yet you have 80% of your military active members that qualify for food stamps. That's why. That's why you got homeless vets, because you got congressional members that don't give a rat's ass about the military. We are a tool for the corporations to steal land and oil and all this other stuff. That's all we're there for now. We've been misused, and that's a fact. We're a mercenary force, period.
Yeah, and Tyrone, you make a good point. Say veterans with dishonorable discharge get no benefits. And isn't that kind of like the equivalent of, I guess, like if you are a civilian and maybe you've gotten fired from a job or something like that, and they ask you why, doesn't that kind of also carry over into the civilian world? Like, it's dishonorable, just like it says.
Yeah. One of the worst things you can do, if you have like a person that you know of, or a nephew or a son or whatever, that you know that they don't like to take orders. I tell young people this all the time. If you can't follow your parents' directions, you definitely don't want to go in the military, then get kicked out of there, because that's worse than actually being a convicted felon, because that follows you for the rest of your life. A dishonorable discharge.
Yeah, and that's what Tyrone just says. As a matter of fact, you would be better off as a felon than with a dishonorable discharge. Some of these veterans are dishonorably discharged. Yeah, sucks, because it's like, how do you take care of yourself? And I don't know. I guess you can be discharged for a whole lot of things, but to come back and not be able to take care of yourself, I think that's really sad. And Damon says the VA won't give me a rating for hearing loss due to no claim while I was in the service. Last good man in Jersey says there are actually a lot of service designed to help veterans get back on their feet, but people aren't aware of them. I've been on a contract to raise awareness of these services, and people need to know about it. I totally agree. There's a lot of people don't know.
Going back to the last comment, if you're on active duty, you can't do a VA claim if you're an active duty person. But if you're in the reserves or guard, you can do a disability up to a certain amount of time, percentage, and then you have to either get out of the military or whatever. But yeah, if you're active duty, you can't do a VA claim while you're still actively serving.
Are all veterans entitled to a VA loan, even if they're dishonorably discharged?
No, if you are dishonorably discharged, you get nothing, zero.
Nina says, I'm so tired of her loud mouth. Nothing. She's speaking out of both sides of her mouth. Yeah, Jennifer Lewis, she's a character. Yeah, I didn't know she was that way until, recently, well, last couple of years. And yeah, so she definitely was acting, I would say. Hello, Jeff. How you doing? It says, good night, Auntie Demetra. Looking excellent. Thank you so much. Oh, magnificent. Okay, now. Says, you too, Uncle Donovan. What's up with the look? Says, giving gangster. Ha, ha, ha. Blessed to you both. Donovan got his hat on backwards. I thought it was giving square, but I could see that. Oh, he's hiding his shame. Alonzo says, plus about $3,500 SSD, Social Security. Is that what it is? Disability? Nina, you crazy talking about she a bad wench. Fishing with Ricky says, VA approved me for a loan 2 years ago for $250,000. Problem is, there you go. $250,000 won't buy a blade of grass here. Yeah, that's probably, some places in the South, I would imagine you could probably buy a house for that. But yeah, That's kind of the problem.
Yeah, but you got to think about it though. I know it can't do nothing for you, but did you have 250 grand before that? You probably didn't. So it's you got to look at it for what it is. Like Demetra said, you might have to go to the South and where your purchasing power is a lot stronger. But again, I would rather have something than nothing.
Yeah, or maybe hopefully wait for things to get better or whatever, if that's going to be happening anytime soon. Metamorphosis, you say my grandmother lived by March Air Force Base. Yeah, I was a regular there too. I was a regular there.
March Air Force Base is literally out in front of my house right now. Literally.
Yeah, you just drive straight into it. Sure is. Yeah, I don't want y'all to think I was like some base lizard or something like that. I wasn't. I wasn't.
They are giving her a plaque right now. It's right in front of the base as you come up to 29 Palms. Demetra's picture's going to be right up there with the base commander and everybody.
I mean, damn, like I said, can I get a 30%, 40%, something? Damn. I kept you jokers happy. Kept you entertained. It's the least you could.
Private dancer, a dancer
for
money.
money.
and it was really cool because sometimes when you couldn't get off base back in the day, whatever the deal is, we had those all-nighters and the girls would come up. We would just be partying hardy, having a good old time, just to meet different people. It was a good time. Like I said, back in the day, we had a good time. It wasn't all this twerking and stuff.
Oh no,
we actually danced and talked and just had a really good time.
Yep. And Miss Sweets, you say 250,000. That's a mini mansion here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Maybe I need to move there. It's a little cold there, though. It's a lot cold, if I'm not mistaken. And Jeff, you say, did you guys ever cover the Clandis? You crazy Owens saga? I missed it. A few of your shows. We didn't really talk about it per se. We mentioned it, and I think the question was, would she be welcome back to the cookout or something? I don't care one way or the other about Candace Owens, to be quite honest with you. She's a grifter. I think she's seeing her gravy train is over. I think she's seen that the gig is up with them folks that she's made a lot of money off of. And is she, and this other thing too, Candace, I think she was on the money with, trying to wake black people up about the, the Democrat thing, although Blexit was not an original thought to her. She just kind of ran away with it. Blexit means like black people exiting the Democratic Party. But that's what they usually do. When they see, old Masters is snatching his butter biscuits out your hands, then they try to say, my people, hey, how you doing, my people? My dear brother Noopsy, how you doing? But I don't feel any way, one way or the other about Candace. But the other thing is too, we accept everybody else back that, don't look like us. So I don't know. I just know that we're quick to really not accept our own back. And I'm not saying that we should, but I think if those people open their arms to Candace, once again, she'll go running back over there. So I don't know. It remains to be seen, though. Fishing with Rick says, I'm in Tennessee. Laugh out loud. Californians have drove up the prices here, too. Yes, they say about, they call us what? California South or something like that. Here in Texas. Yeah. Because when I first got here, things were, pretty reasonable. But now you kind of see them go up. In fact, I would say, it's and I was right because, I go back and forth to California. When I went grocery shopping in California not too long ago, I was like, damn, it's a lot cheaper here than in Texas. And then I read an article says that Houston, rather, it comes number 3 in the highest grocery prices in the nation. So I was like, I knew I was on to something. Imagine that, higher than California.
Right now, notice Demetra moved from California to Texas. She's part of the problem.
Oh, trust me, I wasn't really trying to be a part of the problem like that. Miss Sweet, she says, Demetra, it says it's a streetwalker that received the Purple Heart for helping veterans during their hard times. Yeah, I mean, if there's one out there, not that I was one now. I was, hey, how y'all doing? Y'all doing all right? That was me. But yeah, I think I deserve something. Damn, something. Can I get a bar so I can wear on my shirt, my little jacket or something, a hat?
See, look, You guys, Demetra never wants to tell the whole story. She acts like she wasn't compensated for her time. Your daughter is how old now? 30? There's your reward. Your daughter.
That benefited me how? Thursday say
You
question.
always have a remembrance of the Marine Corps and Sergeant.
Thunder says question. I have people contacting me and wanting to buy property in the home that I live in. They're being extremely aggressive. What does that mean? That means that you that maybe they think you're desperate and they want that particular spot or land or whatever you're from. It's funny because when I'm in a car and I listen to urban radio, you hear all these ads on there. Oh, we'll buy your home. Your grandma was home. If you can't pay the property taxes, or the house is falling down, we'll buy that too. And it's like, I wonder if they play those ads on the white radio stations. They probably don't. But yeah, that's part of the gentrification. They think that you're desperate enough to sell it. They'll offer you something and you get all that cash and you'll leave so they can, knock it down and build something else up. Probably depending on how much land you got. Because here in Houston is weird. And a lot of places, they don't have zoning laws. So you can really go into some neighborhoods and you'll see high rises. Like literally, there's a bunch of new high rises and you'll see a house that's clearly been there since 1940. And those people are like, sorry, I ain't going, right? Or you might see a nice neighborhood or nice houses and there's a auto mechanic shop across the street from it. Now in California, you can't do that. You can't you actually got to get permission to do certain things or they'll tell you to move it to a certain area. But yeah, I know here in Harris County, people just be building all kind of stuff. You might have a whole taqueria across the street from your house in a cul-de-sac somewhere.
And real quick, ladies, let me tell you guys this. Like I said, I know I'm not promoting the military, but did you know if, let's say a guy's retired or he's a veteran, and let's say he gets to 100% disability, whatever, do you know, depending on what state it is, like here I can speak for California, if I have stepchildren and I claim my stepchildren, like they're my stepchildren. I'm married to this woman. She has kids. Those are my stepchildren. They can go to any school for free. So now their education is paid for because she's married to me, the military member. So there's a lot to it that you really got to understand and know about it. And like I said, education for a child in the United States, minimum is $100,000. Minimum, $100,000.
Yeah, I would say minimum. Yeah.
So to just think, you met this woman, she has 3 children. Your children are already grown. Hey, how are you going to pay for it now? We're in, crisis and stuff like that. So many kids get out of high school, especially in our community, and there's no money. There's nothing for them to go to school. They don't know what to do. They have to get the FAFSA and go into debt. I'm not saying everybody's got their different situation, but the fact of the matter is I tell my boys all the time, I gave you the greatest gift you can get. Not only could you get an education for yourself, which I couldn't do. I had to work and be in the military and try to educate myself, but you graduated with no debt. So you got to understand there's some things to it. Like I said, it's an ends to a means for some people, but military is not for everybody. But if I was a woman, knowing I've got children and stuff, I'd say, what kind of benefits you got? You said you were in the Army, right?
Yeah, that was true. When I was going to the club, mind you, I was 18, okay? And to the base and stuff. There was a lot of triple OG women up in there with children and everything, looking for a man with benefits. No kidding. I'm telling you, they was in there on the prowl for a man with some benefits. And like, my God. And a lot of times they would end up with, a lot of younger guys. So they knew what was up. Michael, you say, Demetra and Donovan, what are your policies for smart military spending? That's above my pay grade right there.
The military spending should not be almost $1 trillion right now. Do you guys know that most of military spending goes to R&D, research and development? So Boeing is sitting there saying, well, we need, $500 billion to do this thing. Oh, it didn't work. We need more money. Research and development, that's where your tax dollars is going, to these corporations. And guess who's beheld to the corporations? The Democratic and the Republican Party. That's where your tax dollars is going. So that park that you want in your neighborhood and all those things that could beautify your community and programs that can help the homeless and all this other stuff, it's going to research and development for corporations. Right now, I'm getting dividend checks going into my account right now from Boeing, Lockheed, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, because I invest heavily in the Defense Department. I can't lose.
Miss Sweets, you crazy talking about where the base is at. Let me tell you something. Okay. Go to a VFW. They seasoned up in there. They got a little hole in a donut and stuff. Pot belly, but guess what? Those gentlemen, they probably got 300% service connected. Okay. They probably got a whole lot. You ain't got to do nothing, just be cute. But I advise you when you go, dust off a cat suit. Put a cat suit on, maybe with some little knee-high, your thigh-high boots, and, go up there, shake your money, make a little bit, and, all of that. They might buy you some strong. When I went to the VFW when I was in Florida not too long ago, man, that Crown Royal was strong. I don't even drink like that, but it was so strong. I'm like, I'm not drinking this. Like, it'll burn my insides out. But yeah, get your nice, buy a little cup of Crown, and, let me know how that works for you. If you do it, you're very cute.
I'm gonna give you guys the game real quick. I retired from the military when I was 42. Wasn't even thinking about the VA. I just wanted to hurry up and get the hell on out. Right, 24 years of service. I'm done. Okay, retired as a major. That's about $4,000, whatever. But that's one retirement, right? Finally went to the VA. Did that. That's something there. I can't technically get early Social Security until I'm 62, but we know it's not going to be there. At least it's not going to be, what we put into it by the time we get there. So now I've got to go get a lawyer and apply for early Social Security. 3 incomes coming in, and I'm 53. But my point of the matter is, like my grandfather, 100 years old, this man was getting his pension from his company, the VA, because he's a veteran, plus his Social Security. And he was doing that for over 30 years. See, that's what I'm saying. You got to know what you're doing and how to do it, because the money is there. It's there. The benefits are there, so.
Yeah, but like I said, at the very least, gone to the VFW, girl. They up in there. I saw myself. I was just not dressed right. I had to, I was dressed.
Demetria used to come up to the March Air Force Base NCO club with her burqa on and the glasses that were like this. That's all you saw of her. But see, guess what, though? Guess what? That's all she needed, because when you look at her shape, they're on it.
Now, back in the day when I was clubbing, we didn't do all that. I didn't wear no catsuit or nothing like that. I had on some jeans and rayon shirt. And, I tell you, I'm a hair and makeup type of person. Not that I wear a lot of makeup, but I think that should speak more than your clothes or just something else. But yeah, I was never one to just be naked, and even back then in the 90s, we wasn't quite doing it like that. A woman might have had on a catsuit, but it wasn't see-through. Because more than likely, you probably wouldn't have got in at the club, like that. Somebody might have had on a short dress or some shorts or something, but nothing like you see now. Like I said, I don't even think they let you in. Yeah, logical thinking said that's how you do it. Yeah, let us know how it works. Yeah, keep me updated. Kelly says, I'm going to put on my good dress. Hello, Army man. There you go. I'm telling y'all ladies, keep me posted. And,
but let me give you guys the game of what's happening here in California. The Asians and the Hispanics are going into the Guard and the reserves or whatever. They're not even going active duty. They're becoming veterans. They might get some injuries while they're in the military. And some of you guys that are veterans, you guys know what I'm talking about. They start playing the game. They get their 100% disability, right? They've got that income coming in. $4,000 if you're 100%. So that's $4,000 tax-free. You got your little starter home. You become a landlord. They're fund. This is what they're doing right now. Some of them are starting their businesses from the business loans of being a veteran. They're using all of the components. And then we sit here and wonder, well, how are they getting all this other stuff? They just did their little time. And like I said, I'm not saying it's for everybody. That ain't what I'm saying. They're using it to an ends to a means. And that's what they're doing. That's why you see a lot of people in the military. They're not even United States citizens, but it's a fast pathway to citizenship.
Easy, no, I don't got no cat suit. Nah, I probably end up looking
No,
like
please, no.
yeah,
We're not ready for that.
yeah. But I might look like the penguin, and not the cute one, the Danny DeVito one.
But her sister has a cat suit. Oh my God. Woo!
Like for real, it had all the tiger, yeah. Tyrone, you say, laugh out loud. Them VFW cats know how to get unknowledgeable veterans up to wow 100% too. So fellas, you may want to get a strong drink too. Yeah, they got the game up in there, right?
They know the
It's
rank
good to do.
structure. They know where DFAS is. They know all of that stuff. And if you're a young chick, here's the deal. Let's say you get caught up with a young man, even if he's in the reserves or guard, and he doesn't want to do the right thing or whatever. You ain't got to argue with that man. You just go to his commanding officer, say, I'm so and so. This is his child, whatever. Da 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 da. You show that birth certificate or whatever. That thing goes to DFAS. He ain't got a word to say.
Now, how that go now? What you say? What you doing?
Bypass the whole court system because the military is its own entity. All you got to do is prove that that's your child, whatever, and the military will take care of it, and it goes right out of his paycheck, straight up.
You think they'll believe me if I go try to put a baby on something? I'm gonna find out what's the top rank.
It depends. Colonel, wing commander, base commander.
Colonel. I'm gonna find out who the colonel is. I'm having this baby. They were like, if you don't get your old dusty, rusty.
Look, your average logical thinker, she was in the military. She will tell you. I'm sure she has some stories of these baby mamas coming on the base, making phone calls to the first shirt and all this other stuff. Come on.
Hey Tammy, how you doing? We love you too. Common man, you say street hustlers. Curtis, how you doing? He says, hey guys, let's not forget there's some female veterans who probably got it going on like Donovan is talking about. Woo!
Oh, what? No. Look, that ain't a word. The female veterans, they know it better than the dudes do. Trust me, when they leave, because women are more organized than men in general. So they know what their benefits are and what's going to happen, how it's going to happen. And because they're females, they have certain injuries that men will never have. And at least a lot of ones that I know of, they leave the military with at least 50% disability out the door.
Yeah, a man in uniform. Yeah, if he the po-po, then maybe not so much. But I get where you're going. Right, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Right here, I'm gonna go in there and say that's my baby daddy. Well, he finna be anyway. I'm having this baby. How much can I get for that? They were like, ma'am, you about 2 minutes away from the nursing home. Get out of here. Not building no nursery. Yeah, average logical thing, it says, hell, I was one of them baby mamas calling this first sergeant. Oh my God. You have to get him in trouble, huh? He ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing. Tyrone says Rodney Brown. So okay, speaking of Rodney, who's in the comment section there with you on Facebook. Let's see. Thunder says, ain't nothing like a woman in uniform.
God, yes. I love them.
What kind of uniform?
I love them.
And Kelly says, now my cousins in the Navy keeps getting girls. Yeah, I'd imagine he would. I'd imagine so. Like I said, that ride to the base, boy, we was pumped up. Going to the base. I'm telling you, with 29 Palms, we went to Fort Irwin.
Fort Irwin, Edwards,
Camp
Victorville, Georgia Air Force Base, Norton, March, Del Mar at Camp Pendleton.
Yeah, that 29 Palmer, boy, that was a rough one. We'd be all excited and ready to go on the way up there. A bunch of women, really, a step away from being girls, but we was grown. Driving up there, we're all excited. Yeah. Then we end up getting kicked off because it's time for y'all helpers to go, right? And that ride home was treacherous. It took all of us to drive home because we were so tired,
and it's dark. There was no lights out back then. Man. There was a lot of lights. It's all dark. Joshua Tree.
I remember I had the hatchback Mustang, 1979 Mustang, and you can lay the seats back, and it's kind of like a bed in there. Well, we lay those seats back. We all be back there sleeping, except for the person that was driving. They'd be like, okay, I'm tired. One of y'all got to drive now. And guess what we did the next weekend? We did it again. Good times. I don't understand for the life of me why these girls don't do that no more. I mean, maybe they do, but that was a move right there. Y'all gonna have me going back down memory lane. And Rodney, did I say hello to you? If I didn't, how you doing? He says I was in the Coast Guard for 7 years. You service connected? I'm just playing. Hey, William, how you doing? He says you did not want to be called in to see the first sergeant. Is that when that was like the uncomfortable conversation? Your baby mama called up here again?
Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, if that first sergeant got that call, because he's supposed to take care of the troops in the unit. That's his job. And he got that call because eventually it's going to go to the commander. You better have a good answer when you're in front of that man or woman to say why you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, because it's about bringing dishonor upon the military when you're doing that. You represent the military at all times. So here you are, this girl's causing a ruckus at the damn gate, hollering and screaming, and we gotta fix this, you know?
You should say, just sniper. she's a terrorist.
Yeah, and I can't tell you, I had black troops that would come to me as an officer, and they weren't even my troop because I was in the air wing. There isn't a lot of black folks other than the maintenance. Damon will tell you, if you weren't in aircraft maintenance or something dealing with the aircraft, and there wasn't a lot of us, I had guys, because the white officers didn't want to deal with the black troops. You know, they wanted some commonality. And I would get these black troops that would come up to me, and I say, what's going on? Well, you know, man, is there anything you can do for me, sir? You know, it's just, nigga, I don't even know you. Why would I put my name, you know, to help you out, and you ain't doing right from the get-go from what you're telling me? But they want to play that, oh, come on, brother, you know, no, I don't know. Man, is that your baby? Why aren't you taking care of your baby? Why you got the government in your business? I mean, it was sad, but it happens.
Yeah, I wish I would have known that back then. I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. Hey, MC Fact, how you doing? Since I got here late, what did the actor say about Trump? That he basically wants to be a dictator. He's going to smash the Constitution and, you know, have us bowing down.
She knows this, and she knows it.
She says she knows it. She knows mental illness, so she says she knows. I mean, that may be true. I don't know. It remains to be seen. And 8 Ball Side Pocket says the immigrants are willing to trudge muddy waters and climb barbed wire. Then we wonder why they're getting so much while we're online saying cut the check. That won't do. I mean, yeah, I guess, you know, they doing all that to come get some benefits, right? Back in the day, they'd have to go through a whole lot more than those barbed wires, but now they have to just make it over here, and the rest is easy. So, but, you know, I tell you what, you want to test that theory, go cross over the border and try to come back and say, okay, I'm here, I need some benefits. They're going to be like, if you don't go on somewhere, and Kelly, you say, I would have my baby in my arms crying. Oh, I'm sure a lot of that happened.
Yes, a lot of that did happen. Wait, I'm not lying. This is a true story. I had this black girl try to put a baby on a black troop of mine, and the baby was Asian. I was like, oh my God, what? But see, you have to be politically correct. I can't say it's not his baby, you know, because maybe she had Asian in her family and it just popped up. You know what I mean? So I remember that I had to tell her, what I need from you is to go to family court to do it over there. So we have a court order. Then bring the court order back, and we will get everything rolling for you. Needless to say, she didn't come back.
Yeah, no, I never. My daughter's father was already out of the military, you know, when that came about. Lucky for him. I'm just playing. I don't see no more comments. So Donovan, what else you want to talk about?
Well, I'm just going to say this: with the elections coming up, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how volatile this is going to be. January 6th showed us how deep the other side, and I mean that the white people, will get about their politics and what they're going to do. I mean, they have no problems doing what they're doing. And what I want to talk about is the fact of the matter is the black women claim to be this backbone of the Democratic Party, or at least some black women claim to be that, and they believe that. And yet they're leading these families in our community at a rate of 70% of black households are led by black females. and yet most of them have nothing to defend themselves with. So I really want to talk about, if you guys are going to believe this delusion that you don't need a man and whatever, fine. Protect your children, protect yourself. And you're not going to be able to do it with your bare hands. If somebody kicks in your door, these migrants are running around. You got all these things that are happening in the United States, and our women, fellas, our women have no covering. And that's what I'm concerned about.
Then go on and get you a good sister and marry her. Bring her into your humble
I'm
abode.
working on that. I'm working on that as we speak. I'm working on that.
I ain't talking about taking your tail over there to the DR.
Afro Latinas is black. Maybe I get a Haitian. I don't know.
They're gonna be all right. We're talking about a good old American sister. Get you an American sister and bring her into your humble abode, you know, and take care of her, love her, spend lots of money on her.
Okay, she wants my protection. She wants my covering. You also have to listen to my direction and my leadership. I don't need pushback. If I say something for a certain reason, there's a reason I'm saying it. Now, I get it. I understand you got some guys that want to be dictators. It isn't about dictatorship. You ladies, you know the type of man you're getting involved with. You guys really do. I just get so tired of you guys watching these movies and then projecting stuff, you know, like it's really, you know, something different. You guys know what kind of man you're dealing with. And if you're dealing with a man that communicates what he communicates, just roll with it. There's no need to argue and question what he's doing. Just say, hey, this man has my best interests at heart. Because in a firefight, I don't have time to explain anything to you.
Rodney says, are you coming to Chicago to meet you for the convention? I would love to. I'm actually really thinking about doing that.
You know what? I have been saying this in regards to Demetra about like what's going on in Dalton. She really needs to get boots on the ground and get her butt up there and actually tell us what's really happening. You know, her, Brother Phil and them, you know, we need to get you guys rolling on the ground, actually being there and seeing, you know, what's actually going on. So yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, we actually had talked about it. So just a matter of getting there, and it's being at the ground floor, because it's supposed to be a lot of protesting going on in regards to Black Americans. So yeah, definitely want to be at the hub. Hopefully it don't turn into nothing like January 6th, nothing like that. But well, it won't technically be the Capitol, so I think we would be all right. I don't know. Thunder says, why would she tell us to run scared and not tell us to protect ourselves if this is going to happen? If she believes this, she should be telling us to go and go and protect ourselves. You know, Jennifer Lewis, you know, don't sound like she all the way there most of the time, but you know, she got to do her job, and that's scared the bejesus out of. She really, all that talk is really scaring people her age and older, I would imagine. Michelle, how you doing? It says Black women are not thinking about their kids, too busy looking for a man, too late with, oh Lord. Yeah, well, that ain't all, not all sisters, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, MC 007, yeah, we definitely are talking about doing that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely going to be a sight to see. You know, hopefully it don't get too crazy, because I'm not built for that. I'm just built to be, you know, oh, okay, taking some notes and then coming back. But yeah, so we definitely will see. Metamorphosis says, how many women can we protect at once?
It depends on what you got in your stable.
See, you was doing all right. You was doing all right. Thunder says those type of men are called beauticians. The left hand is hot, cold. Says the right hand is a box of dark and lovely. He's about to do some straightening. Okay. David says, now stay away from the American females, Donovan. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, he got to put his money where his mouth is. He can't tell the sisters, oh, you need to protect yourself, and the sisters need a man. And then, you know, and I know it's not a lot of y'all talking about going overseas, so I think the sisters will be all right. But then one hand talking about, I will go overseas and get, you know, Lupita, who already got a husband, by the way. She just on the track getting your money. But that's neither here or there. It's neither here or there.
It ain't no fun if my homies can't have none. It ain't no
money. Yeah, don't forget to add that the homies and her husband can have some of your money, okay? Because you can best believe that Lupita is working. She clocking. She a working girl. And then she booed up with you. Ay, papi, ay, papi, ay, papi. And then you break her off some dough and she say, here, babe. Here, babe.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Hey, it's a gift. Once you give it, you shouldn't worry about where it goes.
I'm just saying. A-Ball says this country stimulus is a stimulus and response. Country power concedes to nothing unless it's made to. The reparations movement has required footwork. Oh yeah, you can't be thugging on the internet no more. You actually got to have boots on the ground. Okay, Rodney, I definitely will keep that in mind. I surely will. Samuel, how you doing? Says the Democrats are using the same playbook, using celebrities to breathe fear, shame, and emotions to wake up. The wake-up call is overdue. We can't keep voting for insanity, you would think, right?
You got that right. And here's the thing, you guys. Here's the thing with that point. Let's say the Democrats do lose. What's next? What's next for us? We don't expect nothing for Republicans because they ain't promising us nothing. So what do we do then? What do we do then?
For self.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got to have. Okay, what can we do?
Facts, not feelings. You said many Black women think white supremacist government will save them like they do when they call white supremacist government. Oh, no, here we go again. On their boyfriends, these sisters are going to get a serious wake-up call come next election if it goes south. Again, that ain't all sisters. Y'all, like I said, y'all need to find a better watering hole. Find you a better group of women. Thank you, Miss Sweet Talker. Love and appreciate you for that. And Kelly says, I'm getting an army man. If he can defend our country, he can easily defend our home. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. And Keisha says, tell the truth and shame the devil, Demetri. Right. They don't want to tell that whole story. They over there, shaking the tail feather or something else with Lupita. But they paying Lupita. Lupita ain't booed up with y'all for free.
Right. But did you notice that the Black man has a smile on his face when he's outside of this country?
Okay. But that smile on your face.
They hate it when Black men are happy. They hate it, you guys.
We don't hate it at all. MC007 says we start working out deals with our local government as well as Republicans. Yeah. Especially if Black people were to sit it out, then both parties are like, oh, okay, they meant business, right? They not playing, but that remains to be seen. And MC Facty say voting should be based on a quid pro quo approach. So that's the way the process should start. Totally agree. Rodney, you say, what do you think of Tariq Nasheed? I don't follow Tariq Nasheed. I don't follow him anymore. So I don't really have a thought about it at all. I mean, I know he's, doing some things. I think they have a march on Juneteenth or something like that coming up. But I don't really have an opinion on him. So I don't know if Donovan does or not, but I don't really have an opinion. Let's see here. Donovan says, we should do like they used to back in the 70s, have children learn karate or some form of martial arts, maybe even boxing, and have them teach their children. Oh yeah,
that's a great idea in theory, but unfortunately, we as these new parents, unfortunately, rather give them a tablet and put that in front of their face, or give them PlayStations and make them play those games versus actually going outside and getting some athletic activity. It's very sad, but it's good in theory.
Facts on Feeling says 100% correct. Donovan, Black men are happy when they're overseas. Yeah, well then, why to see your ass out of here? With love, of course. With love. Yes, we listen. I think I can speak for a copious amount of Black women when we say we want you brothers happy, okay? Go find happiness where you find it. We would never, ever beg you to stay. We will not do that to you. In fact, we would even be so gracious as to start a GoFundMe to help y'all get up out here just a little bit sooner so that we can all be happy. You ain't got to see y'all moping and grumbling and being grumpy and acting a donkey all the time. So y'all let us know if we could do that for you. It'd be our pleasure. It really
now, remember last week, people, Demetri would just end it with, okay.
That was a glorified form of okay. That was glorified. MC007 says, let's not assume Republicans will work for us. Let's at least try. I believe Trump will work. Dio, he might. I mean, he was talking about it with Ice Cube, but then you know what happened after that. Roddy says, I'm voting for the couch. Yeah, a lot of people said that they will be voting for the couch. Michael says, Demetri and Donovan, what do you say to Karen and Brad dating and marrying two black men and black women in terms of building and transferring the wealth to the biracial children? I think at this point in the game, most children born will be biracial. So I don't even know if that would even be a viable talking point. At the end of the day, they are still black. So, and all I can only do anything about what I'm doing or dating. So I try to stay out of that. And David says Black Alpha Network is on point. Okay, yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of that. Buckhorse says Tariq is funny as happiness. He be tripping, but he is real. Okay. Kelly says my dad made me play outside with the neighbors. Yeah, we did all of that. And Tammy, he says some brothers like sisters have been socially engineered to be selfish and not think about the group as a whole. Yeah, you listen, sister. You said it. I didn't. And guess what I'm going to say to that? Okay. You right. Oh, I said too much. Oh, okay. MC007 said with reparations thing, we need to start putting lawsuits on the Democrats for sanctuary policies. And good luck with that. Yes, good luck. But I hear where you're going with that. And Thunder says, Donovan, as a military man, would you say kung fu or karate, boxing, or wrestling?
Unfortunately, if you guys have been keeping up, the Marine Corps especially has been training in their boot camp and at their base levels. Their basic physical fitness is karate because the next big issue is China and Korea. They're not worried about the Middle East because those of us that have been over there, Middle Eastern people are really they're all talk. They don't like confrontation like that. But the next big issue is going to be China and North Korea. And that's what they're gearing up. So if you see a Marine and you look at his belt when he's in his fatigues, you got like a brown belt, there's a black belt, whatever, that kind of shows the level of their expertise in the martial art.
Michael says, Demetri and Donovan, what do you both say to Japanese locals about understanding and supporting black business? Nothing. I don't really have nothing to say to them. And, respectfully, but no, I don't have anything to say to them. Damon says, America do not want beef, no beef with China. The Yemens have the U.S. Tied up. And let's see here. Kelly says, oh, I love karate and I love Kareza. Very good at it. I am an expert. I'm a black belt at Kareza. Metamorphosis says, I'm watching Chinese channels on YouTube and they ain't playing yet. They not soft, put it that way. So
I am fairly skilled in the martial arts myself. Did it when I was living in Japan. That's part of their basic curriculum actually over there. So you can't avoid it. So I'm ready in case anything goes down. So Demetri will tell you, I have all the weapons. I have all the karate weapons, nunchucks, you name it.
Me too. I got a frying pan. I got some hot grits. I got all that. Screwdriver somewhere. Yeah. Oh. The average logical thinker says, Donovan, you stupid. Y'all need to stay over there since y'all so happy. Nah, they're not going to do that. They're going to come right back here and be miserable until they save up enough money to go play with Lupita. And then when she and her husband take all their money, they're going to come back over here and be mad. Thunder says, Nation of Islam teach martial arts. I know there's a guy who is the head of the Black Karate Federation, and I think he's Muslim. He's very famous. Oh, yeah, they absolutely are skilled in martial arts. Absolutely. And MC007, he says, I'm a former Marine who have been trained in martial arts since the 80s because of China. All right, now. Anima says, I know karate, but I don't know karate, but I know Kareza. Yes, shout out to that of the late, great James Brown.
The payback.
Yes.
I can do wheeling. I can do dealing. I don't do no damn stealing.
Hey, Miss B, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Buckhorse said, Miss K, I love the way you say I can't speak on it. That's right. I'm just saying, I want y'all to be happy. Whatever that means to you, it would just do my heart. so well. I will sleep so good at night, knowing that you are away from the good sisters with that cantankerous attitude, and you're taking it out on Lupita, dime by dime, dollar by dollar. So whatever makes you happy, can I be of service? That's all I want to know.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? It's working already. See how good that felt to just say okay. Uh, uh, Kelly says Donovan, the women are going to be lining up for you, especially when he puts that Speedo on. Willie says, if you're in Texas, you're supposed to have an armory by now. Yeah, that's what they say. It's free for all around here. Facts My Feeling says, Black Alpha Network, that's some good work, but my concern is based on their total opposition to every non-FBA, the government can use this to promote divide and conquer strategy within Blacks who fight white supremacy. I ain't never heard of them. Yeah, I got one of those too. It's actually in the trunk of my car. A good old, it's a little bit sturdier than a wiffle bat though. If I had to, I think I could do so. I could scare somebody off with it. Put it that way. Thunder says, Saijo Muhammad. I think that's his name. Okay. All right. Let's see. Common Man says Republicans work for me 90% of the time. It's when the Democrats get in the White House. That's when I catch hell. Dimitri K. All right. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that their Republican policies suit them more. Thunder says the women cannot resist my body whenever I wear my high karate.
I remember that scent. Yes.
I bet. I bet. Avenged Ancestor says the black man created the martial arts.
How many of you guys remember The Last Dragon, one of the greatest martial arts movies of all time?
You are the last dragon. Yes, one of my favorite movies. You should look like a master to me. Well, she didn't say master. She said master. He's like,
the Shogun is sure enough back on the scene. Shut up. Who said that? Come make me then.
Right. Man, I remember when that came out. I couldn't have been no more than 13, I think. Maybe 13.
Yeah, it came out in 85, I think. Yeah, 85. You're about, yeah.
Ooh, and Time Mock, Bruce Leroy, he is still fine to this day. I know because I follow him on Instagram. Still fine. Still, he's still fine. That's a brother to take care of himself. And I know he got to be 60, if not close to it. But yeah, he still got it.
Yes, got the glow. Still got the glow.
He got that. Yes, he does. He got the glow. You might gonna have me watching that tonight as I'm trying to doze off. But see, I get too excited when I'm watching that movie. So I gotta watch something a little bit more calming. Yes, sure enough. R.I.P. to him. And let's see. Yeah, I remember when that came out.
Talking about he catches bullets with his teeth.
Right, right.
Please.
Right. And Eddie Arcadian. I think about Eddie Arcadian a lot when I see, especially a lot of these artists of today. And I asked my daughter, I said, I know Eddie Arcadian is producing a Sexy Red or Ice Spice and all of them. That's who's behind them. Eddie Arcadian. Just, it's your girlfriend, huh? So you're going to give her a record deal. Let's see here. Michael said, do you know karate? If so, what do you think about black men challenging you in the match? I do not. Listen, I was not put here to be fighting. And I showed was not to be put here to be fighting no man. No, I don't know karate. I mean, I know what, I don't know even what that is. I could, click you in the throat if I had to. But that's just basic instinct, I think. He was catching bullets with his teeth. Sure was. He was like, oh, I am the master. Jerry Curl Fighter, main sky. How you doing?
You want to know what's crazy about that movie? They say there's a curse on that movie because a lot of the main stars in that movie have passed away. Tamaka's still here, but
thank God. Ooh. Yeah, I'm upset about Vanity still. That was my girl. I don't care what nobody said. I love me some Vanity. I did.
No, you see, Demetra never tells the whole damn story. You guys, I'm telling you. I'm going to have to fill it in because, like I said, I've known Demetra a long time, so I'm going to fill it in. Demetra, what was the very first video DeBarge did
Are you for real?
For real.
The Rhythm of the Night.
When did that premiere?
It
In The
premiered
Last Dragon. It
in
was
the
in The
last.
Last Dragon.
And guess what? I got some more trivia for you.
Okay.
How many music videos did the Barge do?
I think 3. How many? Just that one? They were
Just
that
that
coked
one.
out?
They could not get along after that. They said it was even hard to get them together to do that one, but they've, as a group, they've only done one music video, just that one. So, I know. I know. Yes, Vanity was gorgeous. Oh, just a beautiful human being, but she went through a lot. Yeah, right. Who's your master? And then he was like, psych, you ain't my master. Common Man says, we were trained in hand to hand in the army. Most people from other countries don't know the brother's right hook. He crazy. And left jab. When he get mad, we invented that. Yes, don't sleep on Jim Kelly. Yes, that was a tall drink of water too. Lord have mercy. Yes, indeed. No, there was only one video, and that was it. That was the only one that they did. In Brooklyn, he says, I love Vanity in Purple Rain. That wasn't Vanity.
That was Apollonia.
That was Apollonia.
Vanity was supposed to be in the movie, but her and Prince had a falling out.
Yep, that was Apollonia. And I can see why you would say that because they do look, similar. Yeah, that was Apollonia when he bathed there in Lake, what was it? Minnetonka, yeah. Made her take all the clothes off. I had me and my daughter was watching Under the Cherry Moon and Graffiti Bridge, and she was like, what is this mess about? I said, you got to know Prince to understand. You got to understand. So The Last Dragon is on YouTube. You can rent or buy the movie. See, I would rather buy, but I have a DVD player. I would love that if they were, I think they were streaming it on Netflix at one point in time. I don't know if it's still there. But yeah, I had that. But I think I told y'all I had a house fire in 2014, 2013, 2012 actually, a house fire where we lost everything. I tell you everything. I made it out of there with the clothes on my back, and thank God I was sleeping with some on. I always remember Mom used to say, make sure you sleep with some good underwear and some clothes on, because you never know, you might have to go to the hospital, or a house fire might take place and you could just be standing outside butt naked. But yeah, I was able actually to salvage my purse and my laptop and my cell phone, because when I ran out of there at 3 a.m, I had my purse and my phone on my bed. When I threw the covers, it covered up that stuff, and at night I would slide my computer under the bed when I was done with it. But yeah, I lost everything. All my DVDs, CDs, my truck got caught up in there. Thank God for insurance, right? But yeah, that I was thinking about that today. I said, man, all the pictures and stuff I lost of myself, my daughter, my mom, my dad, just a lot of stuff.
That is why you have to back stuff up in the cloud or on a hard drive, especially your pictures, you guys. That once they're gone, especially those pictures that used to fade in our generation, Demetra, where it's all bright, and then as time passes, it gets darker and darker and darker and darker.
Well, the crazy part about it is I had it in my important stuff in a metal file cabinet. But with the water damage and it just, I could salvage some things, but a lot of it got destroyed. And that was in the garage where the fire actually started. So, but
I have multiple backups on hard drives when it comes to pictures, and especially a lot of them on DVD disc. That way, if you've messed the disc up, you messed the disc up. But if you have multiple, you don't have to worry about it. And then when you make those copies, send it to your mom, your brother, your sister. So that way, what are the odds that all these people are going to lose the same thing?
Yeah, and luckily for me, my daughter's father, he, took a copious amount of pictures of my daughter. And so he got copies. So he had that kind of stuff. But, when you survive a house fire, because we survived that, we all really could have been asleep. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. And, could have been bad, because by the time I woke up, or I was woken up, the fire, it was black smoke. It was so black. And when I ran out of the room, I couldn't see nothing. And when I think back about it a lot, I'm like, that was nothing but, I don't know if some people want to say the Holy Ghost, a spirit guide or something, because it was so dark. I believe that I probably had my eyes closed, and then I just turned, made a right, and to the right was our dining room, and out the dining room was a big sliding glass window, um, you know, and so I made it out of there. But that could have been very bad. A lot of people died from smoke inhalation, and had I not gotten out of there, probably within a minute or so, it could have been very bad. I couldn't salvage anything at all. By the time the fire, it burned through the garage, the living room, the kitchen, and my room was next. And so it started to burn the wall from when we went and saw the aftermath. And all my clothes were just covered in soot. It was horrible. But it also gives you a proper perspective of things, I could have died and I didn't. Nobody died. In fact, we'd often have all of my nieces and nephews and stuff over, and they'd be sleeping in the living room after watching TV, and just so happens they weren't doing it that weekend, but they might have been in there that weekend, and it could have been bad. So, those things happen for a reason. Really, I just think us to make us grateful of life and not to waste it, because there's a lot of people who did not make it out of a 3 a.m. fire, which was bad. So.
Somebody asked, well, what was the cause of the fire?
The cause of the fire was my nephew. He was in the garage playing with the car. And I think that's kind of what happened. We don't really know for sure. But it was him that ran into the room, and because I sleep with my door closed. And so he banged on the door. And like I said, I'm asleep. And he's at the front of the door. He's like, he could not speak. So I'm like, am I dreaming? Like, what's going on here? And then no sooner than he was doing that, a bunch of black smoke just came in my room. And I was like, oh, and then as he was saying that, I heard this boom, 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 boom. So at first I thought maybe somebody had broken into the house, because there was just a lot of commotion going on. And then it registered to me, okay, there's a fire. You need to get your ass up out of here. Now, my daughter was in school, away from school, and things like that. So it wasn't a lot of people there. And Walter and I, we were living together at this time. So we had a, big giant house. And that's what happened. And my brother, he just happened to be up because his girlfriend at the time, she didn't live there. She lived in Vegas. So she was going back home. So he just happened to be up. But if he wasn't, because he had the room that was way in the back, it could have been very bad. So don't really know for sure. Dante says the scene from the Enter the Dragon with Jim Kelly went to the karate studio. That was the Black Karate Federation, and their style is called Kenpu Karate. All right, now, okay. Come on with the knowledge. And Easy, you said, was I in Texas? Let's see, I'm so far behind. Lord have mercy. Hey, Candy, how you doing? And just to skip down a little bit. And now Berkeley says, I started taking pictures of my old phone as my phone and back it up. Yeah, I email my pictures now, especially the ones of my mom, because she's no longer here. And Damon says, almost don't count. You're here for a reason, Demetri K. Oh, yeah. Because my brother, he was so distraught. He had put like $20,000 worth of stuff into the house. It was probably like a week or so before that. So when I ran out to the backyard, he was back there and he was trying to go back in the house. I was like, are you crazy? You're not going back in there. So we ran around the side of the house, and then we got to the front of the house. Like I said, it was a big old house. We ran around, and then my truck, an Expedition, was engulfed in flames. And then my brother, he drove a Mercedes at the time. They was able to wheel it backwards. And then, after it all had happened, he was like, damn it, I should have left it in the driveway. So he could have got insurance. But he was in such shock. And luckily, there was a fireman that lived across the way. And so my brother kept on trying to go back in the house. He was trying to, my nephew was in the front yard trying to put it out. You just couldn't put that out. So my brother was trying to run back in the house, and the fireman grabbed him. He's like, you can't do that. Now, the fireman was he wasn't working, he was off. He said, you can't go back in there, you're gonna die, don't go back in there. So he just fell out on the ground and just was sobbing, and just
So that's where Titus gets it from.
he was in shock. He says, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I was like, just relax. And mind you, I'm out there in my t-shirt and my underwear. It was long enough though, you know what I mean? And I'm like, just everything's gonna be all right, but you're not going back in the house, okay? That stuff we can replace, but we can't replace you. But it was shock, is what it was. And Metamorphosis says, reason why I have a dog. Yeah, I guess a dog would be able to get on in front of that.
It depends. If it was like my dog would have saved herself and left me in there.
Right. Yes, and DJ Bubba, how you doing? Since I don't want to change subject, but y'all got Lori Lightfoot investigating city girl Mayor Dalton. Yeah, the people wanted Lori Lightfoot. She used to be a federal prosecutor, so she's a lawyer. They want her to go in there and investigate the city girl mayor, super mayor Tiffany Henyard, to see what's going on. So I think that's going to be very interesting.
Now, if you're asking me in regards to that, what actual power does she have? To me, I think it's more of a waste of time. Yeah, you could get the facts, you're going to investigate, but what actual legal power does she have to do anything about it? $400 an hour? $400 an hour for this lady. Take away, and I'm not saying she's not a great prosecutor, because she does have a great record of being a prosecutor. But if this investigation takes a year, it's going to be election time, so they can get her out in the election if that comes down to it. So I'm just saying, to me, it's like, I don't know. I think it's a mixed bag personally.
I think so too. I think it can go either way. Well, yeah, $400 ain't nothing. They got it. Shoot, Tiffany got billboards and wigs and makeup and stuff. She spent a lot of money on. Shoot, they can pay Lori Lightfoot $400 an hour. That's what they get paid. They get paid that kind of money. So I ain't mad. Get your money, sis.
Wait, plus expenses. That's basic salary plus expenses. $400 an hour plus expenses.
She said, y'all got to pay like you weigh, okay? Y'all let the super mayor sit up here and bilk all these resources all this time. Y'all gonna pay me $400 an hour. I'd be like, man, I'm gonna be here for a minute. She did a lot. I got a lot of investigating to do. So y'all bear with me here. That would be me. So anyway, we're gonna get out of here because I got a lot of work to do still. I'll be back here tomorrow, but again, Sunday I will not be here as it is my birthday weekend, and Donovan will not be here either because he is going to lay his dear grandfather to rest, live to be 100 years old. That is more than a blessing, and we all would be very fortunate if we would just come anywhere close to that. So, RIP to him, condolences to you. And I know you made him proud. One thing Donovan did is everywhere he went in this world, I don't care what it was, where we was. We could be at the top of Mount Fiji. Do you hear me? I'm getting my papa a card. What do you call it? A postcard. And had to find the post office too. And he was gonna mail his grandfather a postcard. So Donovan made sure his grandfather knew where he was in the world, wherever he went.
Yeah, we were talking about the military earlier. You ever had that uncle that I was like, I was over there back in 64, 70? Remember when I was over there in Korea and they tell you all these places that they've been, and there's no proof whatsoever. So when I joined the military, and that was the relationship me and my grandfather had. Now, remember, he has a bunch of grandkids. I'm the second oldest of all these grandkids. Long story short, no matter how many times I went to Hawaii or wherever I was, it didn't matter. I kept sending them postcards. If I went there 2, 3, 5 times, it didn't matter. Anytime I stepped foot outside the land, I'd send them the postcard. Now, unbeknownst to me, my mother told me that what my grandfather would do was, because there was 5 brothers, so there's 6 brothers altogether. He would meet with his brothers, and they would sit down like brothers do and say, "But where's my grandson? He's over in Turkey right now. Oh man, look at this right here." And he would brag that I'm over here. Then sometimes I'm over here, and then sometimes I would cross it, and they're like, "Oh, what's your grandson doing?" And that was his claim to fame with his brothers, that he can brag that, you know, his grandson, one of his grandsons is doing this in the world. And then when I became an officer and a pilot, it was a, you know, when you're from the South, that's a big thing, you know, the Tuskegee Airmen type thing. It's something to be proud of because not many people can do it. So even when we were traveling, I still would have to do it. And that was our special relationship. So now that he's gone and stuff, I don't have any regrets. We had a great, relationship. And again, he was in the Army. He's a veteran himself, World War II. And he lived a great life. So thank you guys for the compliments and the condolences. And if you have your grandparents that are still in your life and things of that nature, hey, get with them. Like I said, they're not going to be here forever. I'm 53 years old and my grandfather is still here. That's amazing to me.
That's a blessing. Yes. Because none of my grandparents, I have to double check. None of my grandparents are still here. So my grandfather passed about almost 2 years ago. So that was it. So everybody's saying condolences to you, Donovan, and your family, and especially to your mother, as that was her dad. So I know that cannot be easy. Yes, indeed. Everybody's saying their condolences to you. Oh my, that's how you know you're getting old. I have to think about it. It's April 13th. That's how you know you're getting old.
So you were a Friday the 13th baby?
I might have been. I've had a couple of birthdays on Friday the 13th, but I don't know if I was born on Friday the 13th, which probably explains what's wrong with me.
Yeah, you don't have to be born on it, but if your birthday falls on Friday the 13th, you're a Friday the 13th baby in general.
Yeah, I turned 13 on Friday the 13th. That was fun. I had a little sleepover and everything. It was quite fun. Huh. Now you got me thinking. That for me, 1971. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, damn, I was born in 1971.
Wait, have you ever noticed when you're online doing something and they ask for like your age? And isn't it funny now you got to spin, the thing's got to go all the way down?
Man.
It's like, whoa.
It's like the Wheel of Fortune just or The Price is Right.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
Okay, so Maine, happy birthday to you as well. Thank y'all, everybody, for the birthday wishes. Okay, 1961. All right. And Brother Samuel says on the 13th, me on the 31st. Yours is April 31st, Brother Samuel. Okay. The April 31st. I have to keep that in mind. So anyway, 1978. It was a very good year. I was 7. 19. Yeah. It reminds you though, like, damn, you had a lot of blessings. 1971.
I was conceived in the 60s, but I was born in 1970. So
yes, indeed. Donovan is an old bird too. Anyway, thank y'all, everybody, so much. And we will see y'all tomorrow. We'll talk about, I don't know, but I'm sure it'll be fun. Miss B says 10/18, 1972, 52. Yes, indeed. And Thunder says, whenever I travel, I always send something back to my mom. And she did the same thing your grandpa did, was tell everybody, oh, he's in Greece or he's in Italy. She used to love bragging about that. Yeah, talking about what your son's doing.
Because you got to think about it. A lot of our grandparents, some of them never even left the town that they were born or the state. So when they see their grandkids or their legacies going farther than they did, oh man, that's a blessing that you can do that. And that's how it's supposed to be. You take the baton and you move it forward, not just stay in the same damn town. And, do you guys know how many double cousins I have in that town that I'm going back to? The families are like crossing the cousins and stuff. I got a bunch of double cousins because they don't leave. They leave they stay right there. So the gene pool was kind of messed up. But thus you're kissing cousins.
That must be some Southern stuff because in the West Coast we don't get down like that. Okay, that's your cousin. That's your 15th cousin. I don't care. That's still my cousin. Okay, y'all may get down like that in Alabama or wherever, but we don't do that on the West Coast. Okay, if it's a drop of blood we share, we ain't sharing no sheets. But anyway, we're going to get out of here. Love and appreciate y'all. Everybody says, Aries, my favorite zodiac sign. I'm Leo, so I'm king of the zodiac. All right now. Yes. Our the Aries, we're pretty cool people. Don't believe what they tell y'all. Super Samuel, you say fours are reformers and pays attention to detail among other things. Yes, indeed. Right. You know what I mean? Donovan with the double cousin. So let me give you some advice when you go down there. Just say no. I'm good.
Oh no, whenever I go there, that's why I stopped going to my birth town, because everybody there is related to me in some way or fashion. You got to remember, you guys, my dad is the second oldest of 22 live births that are still running around. There's like 17 of them. A lot of boys on that side. My mom's the oldest of 12, and her family is a big family there. So just about everybody in that town, if they're not related to me, either my uncles or my male cousins have messed with those girls, so I don't even. It's a shame. It's a shame.
Well, happy birthday to you as well, Raymond. I hope you have a great 54th, as that is a blessing. Ms. B said, big Libra energy. Yes, indeed. And good night to you, Brooklyn. All right, for real. We're going to get out of here. See y'all tomorrow. I don't know what we'll talk about, but again, it'll be interesting. Thank you, Raymond. I love and appreciate you for that. Peace.